When it comes to selling on Amazon, there's two big things that are going to help you to make more money. Number one is sourcing more high profit products that you can sell on Amazon. And then number two, and this is kind of a double whammy, is you got to be able to list your items fast and ship in as many items as you possibly can and rinse and repeat. Well, today I have a special full tutorial that's literally going to teach you step by step how to list your items lightning fast and how to ship items in pretty much the quickest way possible. So in the last year, I've done over $500,000 and I'm doing a little over $13,000 a month in profit at the end of the day selling on Amazon. And today I want to introduce you to my good friend Avery. He's created a software called Go2lister, and this is the exact listing software that I use to literally list and ship all of my items. I'm gonna take you guys behind the scenes and I'm gonna introduce you to Avery, and we're gonna walk you through step by step how to get started listing with Go2lister, how to list your first item, how to scan items into the system, and how to go through the entire process step by step. So if you're looking to make more money and do it in less time, you're definitely gonna wanna watch this video in full. And also, one thing I wanna mention, if you're listing on Amazon Seller Central, you need to stop. Yes, I know that it's free to list on Amazon Seller Central, and if you use Go2lister or any other listing software that's third party, it's gonna cost you money. But I'm telling you right now, this will speed up the process and help you make so much more money long term. So if you wanna check out Go2lister, I'm gonna put a special link down below so you can check that out and get started with an extended free trial. So hopefully you enjoy that. But with that being said, let's pass this video over to my main man Avery, and let's go through this full step-by-step tutorial so you can start making more money in your Amazon business in less time. Avery, take it away.
Just want to give a big shout out to Steve for allowing me to come on his channel and share Go2lister with you guys. In this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how Go2lister can help you save time and also make you way more money in your business via some smart pricing options we have. And we're going to be going over a lot today. So I'm going to do a complete overview. We'll be going over a complete overview of the settings. Then we'll be going over how to list your items and create a batch. Then we'll be going over how to create a shipment and successfully send your items to Amazon so they're active. And finally, I'll be showing you how this software can give you an insight into your profits, because this software not only tracks how much you paid for your product, but also what it sold for on Amazon. So therefore it tells you on a daily basis what your true profit is. So instead of checking your Amazon seller app and seeing that you sold $30,000 over the last 30 days and you have no idea what the profit is, you can easily go into Go2lister and see, oh, I made $10,000 true net profit at the end of the day. So let's dive into it. So first thing you're going to do is log into Go2lister, and you'll see net profit and cost of goods. This is for all the products that you've already listed. Obviously, if you're brand new to Go2lister, these numbers are going to be zero. But let's dive into settings real quick before we get started. So obviously, make sure your address is updated. So wherever you're shipping your items to Amazon from, whether that's your house, your warehouse, your mom's house, wherever your address is, go ahead and enter that here. You can enter multiple addresses, but you do want to have a default address. That way, every time you create a batch, it defaults to that address there. Also, if you want, you can add different condition notes for your books. We use a generic condition note, satisfaction guaranteed, ships directly from Amazon. Thank you. Just something like that. You can add fast shipping, but we keep it generic enough to where if you list like new or acceptable or good, the condition note covers it, you know. And then maybe we use condition notes for like X library books and stuff like that, or if there's a certain product that you just need to let the customer know that there's some type of packaging or something, you can, or maybe a signed copy, if you consistently find yourself having to add certain condition notes or certain condition notes, just add them in here. That way they're saved forever. You can also update these directly from the batch. So we also have SKUs. So I recommend you guys use a similar SKU to this. So I like to know what date did I list the product? How much did I pay for it? Where did I get it from? Did I get it from Goodwill? Did I get it from Savers? I add a random number in there. And the reason why I add a random number is Amazon does not like it. It does not allow to have the same SKU for different ASINs. So you never want to use the same SKU for different ASINs. It's impossible. Our software won't let you do it. So add random number. That way, every single SKU you create is unique. This is super important for booksellers If you're solely an online arbitrage seller, you could probably get away with removing that, but I recommend keeping that in there. And then we also have item count. This is helpful if you do 30 up labels. It will keep your labels in order because it'll be 001, 002. And you can actually add item count to the very beginning if you do plan on using 30 up labels with a regular printer. Sources and listers, you're going to put all your sources here, and you can also update your employees in there. That way you know if they list a faulty item or a counterfeit item. You can track when the item sells. You can track who originally listed the product. So that's why I like to add that there. We also have smart pricing. So this allows you to capture more profit on faster selling books. So as you can see here, if the book is between 1 and 125,000, I say book, but this will also attribute to CDs, DVDs, and different categories. But really this is meant for books. If you're doing other things like online arbitrage or wholesale, you probably know what you want to price the item for anyway. So I just recommend going with the price that you want. But for booksellers, you have hundreds or if not thousands of books, and you don't have the time to meticulously check each book for prices. So what we do is we automatically price your books higher if they have faster sales velocity. So if they sell more often, we're going to price the books higher because we know we can get more profit for them. So the way it works is if your book's between 1 and 125,000 in sales rank, which is a pretty fast moving book, we are going to actually price it at the 4th lowest FBA offer. If that's available to us, we will price it at the 4th FBA offer. What I mean by that is Amazon doesn't always share this information with third-party softwares, but sometimes it does. And so if Amazon lets us know all the prices for the Prime competition, we're going to price it at the 4th highest Prime offer, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, as we get a little bit slower moving books, 500,000 to 900,000, we only price at FBA slot 2. And then, above $1 million, we're going to price at buy box or FBA slot 1. If there are 0 FBA offers, you can 100% price your book higher and make a lot more money. This software automatically prices your book 20% higher if there's no FBA competition. We also notify you if there's no FBA competition because I recommend that all you guys manually price books with 0 FBA competition. If you have a book that has 0 FBA offers, you can make double, triple profits simply by pricing it a little bit higher. So in Go2lister, we actually notify you by highlighting it purple if you're listing a book that we think you should price, that we think you should manually price higher. So before you submit your batch, look for any books that are purple and price those books a little bit higher. And then we have indicators here, which is basically like if you want to see, like if you, obviously you don't want to send books that aren't profitable to Amazon. So you can kind of add like a profit threshold here. And that's what we've done. So like it'll still let you list a product that's not profitable, but it'll turn red if it's not profitable. So in this case, the minimum profit's 5. So if we're listing a product under 5, it highlights it red and lets us know like, hey, are you sure you want to send this to Amazon? Because you'll pay a $2 removal fee if the product doesn't sell. That's Amazon's removal fees as of today, and they'll only go up in the future. So I recommend don't send in products that aren't going to make you like more than a couple of dollars profit. You definitely want to send it. But at the end of the day, run your business how you want to. I know booksellers that send in stuff that makes 50 cents profit. I don't think that's an intelligent way to run your business. So you can toggle indicators there. And we also have printer settings. So we're compatible with the Dymo and the Rollo. I'll link a video below, or Steve can, about the Rollo printer. It's a complete Rollo setup if you guys want to use a Rollo printer with our software. And we're also compatible with the Dymo, and you can toggle different printer settings here. I won't go too into depth about that. And if you want to, you can also use a regular printer with our software and use 30 up labels. If you choose to do that, you will print your labels from Seller Central and not from our software. Okay, so let's dive into creating your first batch. So what we'll do is, most of you guys are going to be sending to FBA. If you do want to send merchant fulfilled, we do have merchant fulfilled ticketing as well. I have a whole separate video that breaks down how to do MF ticketing. But we do print an MF ticket, so you can put it in the book, put it on the shelf, keep track of it. But in this video, let's go over FBA because that's what 99% of people are doing. So enter your batch name. I usually like to enter my name or my employee's name dash the date that I'm listing. So we'll enter that there. I almost put 2018. I'm living 5 years in the past. We use smart pricing, so this is going to allow you to make more profit simply by pricing books with higher demand, a little bit higher. Who listed it? Put my name here. It'll also save every employee or lister that you add. Shipping from, you can look at all your addresses simply by clicking on that. Who labels? Highly recommend that you guys label your products. Otherwise, you pay Amazon 30 cents per item, which is really expensive. And then let's go ahead. Almost always you'll select I want to provide box content. There's really no reason to not select that, and I'll explain why later. We'll create batch. And now we're going to select a source. So let's say I got these from Rake and Profit. You have to enter your source. We require that you enter your source because we want you to be able to track at the end of the year what your most profitable sources are. So we actually require this. So always be sure to enter your source, whether you got them from Walmart, Kohl's, Goodwill, Savers, just enter that in there. If you don't want to enter your source, just enter a dash. Okay, I don't know why you would not want to track your sources. If you just choose not to, just enter a dash there. Same for buy cost. If you don't want to track your buy cost, enter 0. Or if you know your buy cost, which I highly recommend you track your buy cost, all you need to do is take, how many items you have and how much you paid for them and divide the total buy cost by how many units you have to get what your buy cost is per batch. And then all your condition notes are saved here. This isn't like a super pretty section, but the reason why I haven't built out extensive condition notes is because I don't really believe in them. I think you should just use a generic condition note most of the time. And then you can toggle condition here from acceptable to like new. As you can see, this condition note will work for both like new and acceptable items. So it really covers all my bases here. And then if you select new, Amazon will not use a condition note, so don't even worry about that. So I list most of my books in good condition. I have that I am the lister. I have auto print on. That way when I scan the book, it will print the FN SKU and I can label the book. If you choose not to label your books, you can turn this off. Or if you choose to label your books in a later part, so if you guys choose to do box contents, you can actually label your books later, which I'll show you. But we'll go ahead and turn that on. And then you can also toggle if you want to print error labels. So print error labels is like if you're just like going crazy fast and you want it to print out a label that maybe the book was restricted or missing dimensions or something, you can do that. It's an interesting flow if you wish, but by default it's turned off. If you know you're about to get ungated in something in a category, you can allow restricted products. So if you know that you're currently restricted, but Amazon's going to give you approval for whatever reason, if you want to allow restricted products, you can. And we also have use unique SKUs. So technically Amazon terms of service is you should not list one ASIN with a bunch of different SKUs, which I do all the time. I break this rule. Most booksellers break this rule. But if you only want to use unique SKUs, you can turn this on, which is currently what I do. Or turn it off, and if you list the same product, it'll actually use the first SKU that you ever used for that product. So just realize that and consider that as you're listing. It may it'll pull an earlier SKU, whatever the first SKU is that you use to list a product. So if you have like Walmart in the SKU, and the next time you got the product from Goodwill, the SKU is still going to say Walmart, but if you update the source, Go2lister is going to track the correct source, but the SKU is still going to show the old SKU. Hopefully that's not too confusing. If you guys ever have questions about anything, ask in our Facebook group. You can also message me at support@go2lister.com. We also have a live chat bot on the website to connect you directly with my team, which is therefore connected to me. So if you guys ever get confused about anything, just go there, any of those places I mentioned, and you can ask questions. So now I'm going to show you guys how to scan your items in Go2lister. You've already created your batch. You've already got your source set up. Everything's good to go. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you the speed of Go2lister.
Wow. No one has ever done that. No one has ever done that.
Okay, so as you can see there, I can scan extremely fast. Go2lister is the only software that allows you to scan faster than Amazon returns a response for the F and SKU. So when I was listing years ago, I was always really frustrated whenever I would scan an item, and it would take 2 seconds to even 20 seconds sometimes for Amazon to give a response. So we've actually programmed Go2lister to where you can scan as fast as you want, and then it queues everything up. And so we let Amazon take their time to give us a response because we can't speed that up, but we don't stop you from scanning as fast as you want. So scan as fast as you want. I recommend scanning about 5 to 10 books at a time, and then double checking that all the books that are scanned in are correct. And with this process, you can list easily 100 books per hour once you really get moving. So we also have an error queue. So if you ever scan an item that requires approval or there's some issue with the item, it'll actually appear here in this error queue. And so what you can do, sometimes there's multiple ASINs. So you'll scan the book, and what you have to do is look at the cover of the book and then find the matching title here. Maybe this is a weird book. Maybe I scanned the wrong barcode. Sometimes, yeah, this is one of those books that has the barcode on the inside. So I scanned the UPC on the back, which is pulling up a bunch of random results. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll just remove this and I'll scan it again. So let's scan it one more time. And as you can see, that time it pulled up the correct book. So very simple process. And if you happen to scan an item that you're gated in, for example, this textbook, you can easily apply for approval simply by clicking here. And what this will do is it'll open up Seller Central, and it'll actually copy and paste the ASIN. And if you're able to get auto ungated, it will ungate you immediately. Not auto ungated, but manually ungated. And then if it requires an invoice, it'll prompt you to upload an invoice there as well. So you can see the total profit and how much you paid for the items. What I recommend you do before you submit the batch is quickly scan through all the items and make sure they're priced at profitable prices. Remember, it'll turn red if it's not profitable, and if the rank is above what you selected, that'll also turn red. So you can go in here and quickly check your prices. There are 2 types of books that you should 100% check the price. The first is whenever it turns purple, that means there are 0 FBA offers on the listing. Consider pricing higher. This means that Go2lister did not receive enough data from Amazon to think that there are FBA offers. So there's a chance they might have FBA offers, but there's a high chance that they don't. So in that case, what you should do, so here's a purple book highlighted. It says there's 0 FBA offers. Keep in mind this sales rank's way too high for me to be pricing higher, but let's just pretend that this sales rank was a little bit lower. If we open this up, you guys should all have a good understanding of how to read a keeper graph if you're a serious Amazon seller. What we're going to do is just ensure that there is no other FBA competition. So what we'll do is we'll click here and we'll just double check that there's no other prime offers. And there are no prime offers here. There's not even the option for me to filter by prime. So we know that we're sending in this book. We're going to be the only prime offer. We're going to be the only person shipping from Amazon with 2-day shipping. Therefore, we can price this book at whatever we want. In this case, I would just keep this, currently the used price is $10.20. You could get ambitious and you could price this at $19 and maybe get the sale. But for a 2 million rank book, I wouldn't do that. For anything under 1 million rank, and definitely think books under like 500,000, get greedy here. I would, if this was under 500,000, I would price it, at $19.99, and boom, I would be making an extra $9 profit just by pricing more intelligently. So before you submit your items, be sure that your items are priced profitably. And I bought these books here in Mexico, so don't take me too seriously on these books. This is for the purpose of making this video. But as you can see what the profit is per book, what the sales rank is, and I would adjust these accordingly before you send the batch. Okay, so now we're ready to send the batch to Amazon. So we'll click on send batch. And this is the moment of truth. You are going to see what warehouses Amazon is going to send your products. And in this case, Amazon was not very nice, and they want to send our products to 3 different warehouses. If you get to this page and there's only one warehouse destination, what I recommend you do is only fill 1 box up at a time. This is called the 1 box method. List enough items to fill 1 box and click accept shipments. Finish your shipment. There's no need to provide Amazon box contents or anything because everything is in 1 box. Now, if you live in a part of the country that gets a lot of splits, like California, if you live in Florida, there's almost never splits down there from my experience. But in California, there's tons of splits. So if you are consistently getting splits, what I recommend you do is usually Amazon splits about 3 or 4 times. So now our goal is to make each split shipment at least a full box. So in order to get a full box of items, we need to list more. So if you preview shipments and you see 3 destinations and you see small splits like this, what I recommend you do is cancel, go back to the batch and list 5 times as many items as you did. And then that way, when you come back to this page, each split shipment, each warehouse destination has enough items to fill up a complete box. So if you have no splits, go ahead and accept shipment. If you have splits and each split is big enough to fill up a complete box, then what you can do is click on accept shipments, which I'll show you in just a second, and you'll proceed to box contents. If you ever get the one-off split, like you see here, there's 1. All you need to do is take this ASIN, copy it, click cancel, go back to the batch. I do a control F search and I search for it. So all you need to do is delete that 1 book or item that was being sent to a different warehouse. Pull that from your shipment and list it in the next batch. Now when we click send batch, there should only be 2 split shipments. Boom. Now we only have 2 split shipments. So what we'll do is we'll click on accept shipments here. And now we will proceed to finish box content on Go2lister. So as you can see, there are 2 different split shipments here. Each split shipment currently only has 1 box. If you have multiple boxes, you can add multiple boxes, but don't add boxes until you fill up the first box. Okay. So now all we need to do is scan the books and it will tell us what box to put it into and what shipment it's going to. So as you can see here, it's going to warehouse destination SCK4 in box 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in box 1. I recommend that you guys write the warehouse destination on the box as well as the box number. So this is our first box for warehouse destination SCK4, and I've already put the first book in it. So you can see this is going to GYR2 and it's going in box 1. So now I have 2 boxes for the 2 different warehouse destinations. And if I happen to fill 1 box completely for the split, sometimes a split shipment might be 300 units to 1 warehouse. And that's 5+ boxes. So in that case, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get another box. Let's say for GYR2, I have a ton of books going there and I've already filled up box 1. Once box 1 is filled up, I'm going to grab another box. And so with this next box, what I'm going to do is I'll put GYR2 box number 2. So now I've added box number 2. So when I scan another item, I'll grab any of these ASINs here for an example. And as you can see, it's now telling me to put it in box number 2 for GYR2. So hopefully this makes sense. Once I'm done giving box contents, all I'm going to do is click on send box content here. And now I'm going to enter the weight of each boxes. So for shipment 1, I have 2 boxes. And for shipment 2, I was able to fit everything in 1 box. So what I'm going to do is I'll type in the box weight, 21 pounds for the first box. I always enter 12 by 16 by 12 for my box dimensions. If you have different box dimensions and you want to be a goody-goody two-shoes for Amazon, you can measure the box. But for years, we've always entered 12 by 16 by 12, and it's been fine. Most of the time, you want to get above 30 pounds. If you get under 30 pounds per box, you pay a lot more per pound in shipping. So try to stay above 30 pounds if possible. So enter the 2 box weights here, and then enter the box weight down here. Get as close to 50 pounds as possible. Don't go over 50 pounds. If you go over 50 pounds, Amazon will charge you a lot of money. I'm speaking from personal experience. Scales are different. I wrestled in college, and you can step on $100 scales. You can step on $1,000 scales, and they will be a pound off from each other. So just because your scale says 49 pounds doesn't mean Amazon scale is not going to say 51 pounds. So I don't recommend going over 47 pounds because Amazon will charge you $50 or $150 depending on how many times you make this mistake. They give you like one chance, and then after a while they'll suspend your shipping for 24 hours. They'll charge you shipping they'll charge you a fee. There's just a lot of penalties for doing this, so always underestimate. I recommend not going over 47 pounds. And then click on submit here. This is going to send all the information to Seller Central. And now what you'll do is click on finish in Seller Central. So I have other videos breaking down how to finish your shipment in Seller Central, but it's pretty simple. You just click on convert to Amazon and follow the prompts. Go2lister's already submitted the box content information, and then you label the boxes there. Okay, now we're gonna go over how to understand your profits with Go2lister. So all you need to do is click on the total profit tab down here, and it's actually gonna show you what your sales are, what your total costs are. So this is what you paid for the product. So as long as you've been uploading your buy cost as you've been listing your products, this will be accurate. It's gonna tell you your total Amazon FBA fees. If you're doing merchant fulfilled, on this report, we don't include it because this is just giving you an overview of what your FBA fees are and what your buy costs are versus your sales. We will have reports in the future that will tell you your merchant fulfilled shipping fees, but in this case, it is not included. So your total profit, if you're doing 100% FBA, this is going to tell you what your gross profit is. So this is basically what you have to pay taxes on minus whatever your expenses are. So I'm not a CPA. I'm not going to give CPA advice, but you can give your CPA this report, and it will really help him. So if you click on download, it's going to give you all your sales, what all your costs were, and also what your total profit is. Now in the future, we're going to have more in-depth reports that capture inbound shipping fees, that capture merchant fulfilled shipping, all those different things. But I like to use this right now as just a good indicator for how is my business doing. So I did 5,300 in sales that day. After everything I paid for the products, I'm left with $2,200 profit. That way I'm not just looking at my Amazon seller app, seeing that I did 30,000 in sales and having no idea how much actual profit I made. So I know that Go2lister says I made 34,000 profit. I probably paid about 4,000 for prep for these items. So that brings it down to about 30,000. 31,000, and I probably also paid another 3,000 or 4,000 in shipping, merchant fulfilled. So I'm left 26,000, 27,000 true profit for the last 30 days. You guys can also click on the orders tab here, and once I get in here, you can see what the order price is per item. You can see what I paid per item, and you can see what the profit is. Now in this case, I've hid my products so you guys, everyone on YouTube here, doesn't steal what products I'm selling. But you can easily see how much profit you're making on a per item basis. That way you can make more intelligent decisions for purchasing products in the future. You can also update your prices here. And if you update one SKU, it'll remember it for the future. So just remember, if you update prices here, it will update future sale prices as well. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. If you guys have any questions at all, reach out at support@go2lister.com or just go on our Facebook group. It's the Go2lister Facebook community. You'll get an invite once you sign up for the Go2lister software. And any questions at all, you guys can comment there. Much love. Be sure to go through Steve's link below. Steve does get some coffee money if you do that. And you'll also get an extended trial for going through his link. So much love. Thank you guys so much, and see you guys soon.